Good afternoon.
We good?
Just waiting for it to come up on Tinker Tabletop. It's live on my end, but I don't do the song until it's live. I don't have Dan's beautiful voice.
Tinker Tabletop is live streaming Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, we're good to go. Alright.
Alright.
Hooray.
Streamed in front of a live studio audience.
The studio is in your heart.
Voices in the Wilderness is filmed in front of an instant studio audience. Alright. Welcome to Voices in the Wilderness, a 13th Age adventure. When we last left our heroes, they... bought some cake.
Lots of cake.
Shit, I forgot.
How could we forget our cake adventures?
How could I? How could I? Sorry.
They bought some cake, found out some information, had meaningful conversations with. But it was mostly like 45 minutes of buying cake.
It was the best 45 minutes.
We bought a warehouse full of parts and machinery, too. It just wasn't as funny.
Fact.
Or heartfelt.
Or delicious.
In fact, that's what we're going to start with. Malkesh, you're inspecting the goods. You are now in front of a warehouse in a different part of town that you now have the deed and paperwork for.
Malkesh's ears are pretty much flattened directly to the side of his head. He has no idea what he's doing. You give him a recently deceased body and he's okay. This is kind of outside of his league.
Well, as you approach the building, the first thing that comes to your mind is maybe you should try the keys on the door.
Okay, that is technically something he's capable of doing. I will admit, that is probably the right course of action.
If the keys don't work, try Bruno on the door.
Yes, well, that's always a backup.
Skeleton key, skeleton, tomato, tomato.
I try the keys of the door. There we go.
Not only does... What was that?
I said, never mind.
Not only does the door have that sweet, sweet unlocking sound, it's not that difficult for you, as the knob is pretty much at goblin height.
Now I'm just imagining there's like a little door and then the big door, you know? Like in churches. There's like a little goblin-sized door.
There is actually a big door, but it's a much bigger door. It actually looks as if it's a more of kind of a like garage door style gate that actually has that is actually connected to the canal outside, and seemingly allowing water to flow through it.
So there's kind of like an internal dock kind of a thing.
Yes, exactly.
That's very convenient for our current situation. Malkesh walks in. Bruno just kind of stands outside the door, unable to fit through. Is there a light switch? Is it, I keep forgetting what strange interpretation of technology we're working with here.
Whatever you want.
There's a light switch! Malkesh turns it on.
You have to clap.
That's hard to do with push to talk.
You turn on, and then, as Lissy is with you, though conspicuously silent, her eyes would light up as you quickly realize that you didn't just buy a warehouse full of parts. It actually, the inside of the building leads into a fully functioning, almost dry dock type situation. And as you look around, you can probably piece together, or at least Alyssa might tell you, that this is effectively a chop shop for small ships, well, small to medium-sized ships and airships. The kind that are able to take to the sky, but also the river.
Hybrid airships. with the hyphen.
Nothing so large as the kind Hunhao arrived on, which pretty much do have to land directly in the ocean or dock to the side of the continent. But there are no shortage of the smaller hybrid styles. They're a little bit more expensive and a little bit more limited, as a lot of the space in the small ship would be taken up by the airship engine. But in this case, it would be roughly, you are able to put together that you could fit the high fish.
Well, that's convenient.
You also see a strange machine in the corner surrounded by sacks of some sort of powder.
Now we're talking.
And as you get closer, you see the powder is marked cake mix.
In quotations, or
This is
sorry, double quotations.
I can't think of a fantasy pun on the.
It's
That's
okay.
fine.
It's a thought that counts. Malkesh kind of walks up to it.
No, I got it. It's
Okay.
It's Aunt Jemima's pancake mix.
Damn it.
Picture of a tree holding a stack of cakes.
I was trying to find something with Betty Crocker, but I couldn't.
I try to find the storage room full of honey bunches of ghosts.
I mean, you couldn't go for like Betty Ockber.
Oh, well.
Oh, there we go. Slam
We're gonna
dunk.
rebrand.
Yeah, you see the strange.
Yeah, I got nothing else here.
You see the strange machine, and it seems currently calibrated for cake. And you see next to it kind of a book full of instructions.
Well,
I have a
I'm
question.
curious what other settings this machine has. I know that's sort of leading to a joke, but I'm curious.
Um,
I'm really curious. How do you know, how do you look at it and say this thing is calibrated for cake?
There's a big dial and it's set to cake.
Oh, okay. Is it a picture of a cake?
I'm imagining like they just drew it like on a piece of paper and then put it like taped it on to the dial.
Yeah.
In
It's
place of
covering something up.
Yes.
Yeah, it's essentially a strange piece-together machine, and very much in that same way, there is a dial. A dial. One says cake, the other says fuel pellets, and then the third says unconventional.
Question mark, question mark, question mark?
Just says good luck. Alright, Malkesh kind of hands the book over to Lissy, because unfortunately with her not here, Malkesh is not super mechanically inclined. But I can definitely see the usage of this place. I mean, unlimited instant cake is a big plus, but actually having a place that's secure to dock the, it's the high fish?
Yes.
Okay. Especially since we're doing a little bit of unconventional activities here would be quite nice. Plus, Malkesh is thinking he has a feeling Aziz would love this place.
You're probably not wrong about any of those things, but currently you are the only person who knows about it.
Yeah, I'm about to fix this. I think I'm going to let Lissy bask in her new collection of airship parts and machinery. Because Malkesh has no idea what the fuck to do with any of that.
We're gonna come back and she's gonna have built a new airship.
Maybe that she has a dry dock, right? Like where there's a wet dock and a dry dock.
It essentially looks like a there looks like there's a machine that seems to be able to either lift the ship up and pump some of the water out. It's a neat little setup.
You know, for 500 gold, this place is a steal. 500 gold equivalent. I'm sorry.
Yeah, most definitely. You think you agree this place was a steal? Maybe because it was involved with quite a few steals.
Yep. Not that that would scare off Lissy or Melkesh. All right. I'm going to leave Bruno here with Lissy, and I guess I'm gonna run on back to the other ship.
So it wouldn't take long. Wouldn't take long before you return to the ship.
I have to ask, is the cake for Gunhild there yet?
I was just about to say, Gunhild.
Forgot about that.
A delivery person has come up to you and given you a cake that says, "We're sorry for putting you in this moral quandary. We love you." It's blue.
That's... How could I forget?
There's also not a whole lot of care has been taken with the packaging though, and you can see that you can see that they have left the price tag on it. 6 gold, 95 silver.
Kind of looks at it for a moment. Well, at least they're trying.
Hey, we bought your cake. No one else did. Where there's cake?
We told you to go get cake, didn't we? Wasn't that a group plan? That's why you guys went to the Goblin Market?
Sure, sure.
And then you came back with 73 cakes.
In the D2
One good one.
chop shop.
Yeah.
And one good cake. I think overall, pretty good haul.
I mean, technically you didn't come back with the cake.
We delivered
Do you
it.
really want us coming back with the cake? Like, at least you got the cake in one piece.
With the
Think of
price
it this way. Think of it this way. A whole bunch of instant cakes, one really good cake, incidental warehouse that may or may not be involved in criminal activity, and no new dead bodies. We're doing great.
I mean, if you think about it, the sorry we got you in this moral quandary kind of covers future potential moral quandaries.
And actually, as Gunhild opens the cake, Ferris is like hiding around the corner and just makes like little sparks fly off of it like they were candles.
Far in the distance, you hear, "Ha ha."
Single dove flies overhead.
Around this time would be when Nastasia has returned from her information finding mission, as well as Ferris has returned from closing out the job they had taken care of the night before.
Returning just in time to make sure there were some fizzly things on the cake.
Yes.
It was well timed.
Ooh.
The Finnegan arrives precisely when he means to. With useless light shows.
Seems to be the Finnegan family way of doing things. So, who wants cake?
Well, I think you should get the first piece, Gunhild.
Is it going
Happy
to-
moral quandary day.
Every day is Moral Quandary Day with us.
What flavor is the cake, anyways? Did we ever establish that?
No one asked. We literally ordered a cake and no one asked what flavor it was.
You know, it's cake flavored.
He just like kind of cuts a slice out, takes a bite, and it How did you get a cake that tastes like nothing? That's almost kind of impressive.
Mukesh
Oh.
isn't there yet, so.
Well, I mean, we didn't do it. Baker did.
And at this time, Melkesh would return.
Hey! Hey guys! Hey!
You gotta flavor this cake. Fix this.
Hey!
I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah.
looks nice, but
It's, you know, I guess we really didn't ask what flavor it was, did we?
My God, with this dud cake, how else are they going to quickly get a new cake?
Don't worry! I have backups! And Mukesh just like throws instant cake at people.
what? This
Melkesh, subtract 3 instant cakes from your inventory, and Gunhild, Ferris, and Nastasia add 1 instant cake to your inventory.
I'm gonna roll a dex check to see if I catch mine.
Yeah.
Clearly not expecting cake.
I have instant cake
Oh, yeah, I
under,
catch that cake.
currency.
Oh yeah, you do like a cool.
I guess that means I need to roll this as well.
No,
or
I
you
just
can just
want
take
to.
it to the face.
I'm just gonna assume that it gets thrown at me.
Really, I just kind of want one to like fall in the river so we actually figure out what the hell it is.
Cake floats down the river.
First, just kind of looks at the puck in his hand. He's like, "Thanks."
Just add water or booze.
Ooh. Ferris immediately goes below deck to rummage around for something.
Rum
I don't
cake
know.
made.
Probably rum cake, right?
Instant rum cake.
Well, I suppose it would offset the lack of flavor. In this one, at least.
I'm sorry, it was their light cake. We knew you were watching your figure. Apparently, light is the definitive and only definition of the cake. You weren't aware. I'm sorry.
They actually had to use deflavoring powder.
Ferris comes back up with a fully sized rum cake, and like half of it's already gone. So Mukesh, why'd you deliver it? Where's Lissy? What's going on?
Oh, we bought a warehouse.
What?
Pretty big one, full of airship parts and dry docks and a place to park the boat, actually, which is why I came back. Bruno and her are going through inventory. Well, Lissy is. Bruno's probably running into things. It's pretty stupid. But cake and boat and we're like big doors so we can, not like be just sitting here in plain sight.
Well, those all sound like good things.
Those all sound like good things.
I'm so confused as to what you
I
all
am
went to.
so suspicious.
I mean, it was a decent deal. These down-on-their-luck instant cake salesmen wanted to get rid of the thing. Apparently, some of the parts weren't entirely acquired on the
Legal
Mukesh just
side of
looks
things.
Mukesh looks at the cake that says, "I'm sorry about getting you into this moral quandary." Honestly, we're not sure. Let's just say it was a good deal. It's full of airship parts, and I think Lissy went catatonic. Birdatonic? I'm not sure. But she's not talking.
Should we tell Porter where we're going?
We just got a whistle for him, right?
Yeah, sure. I don't know how that works, to be honest.
Uh,
I'm
it's-
kind of impressed that he shows up when he does, to be honest.
Left, up, right. Left, up, right.
Anyone have an ocarina?
Look, we'll leave a note.
Yeah, no.
No?
Anyone can read a note.
I'm still kind of stunned that you figured that a cake. Yeah, never mind.
But anyway, we have more. We can make more of these instant cakes. Like I've got
The instant
Couple
cake is
dozen
not
on
the
me.
issue. Mm.
What's the problem? I mean, who doesn't want to own a warehouse?
You know, it's fine. Let's just enjoy some cake. I think if you can enjoy this, you know what? It's the thought, right? It's the thought that counts. That's the important part.
I thought the message is what counted, and the icing. Does the icing taste like anything?
Regret.
Ooh. I don't remember paying extra for regret flavoring. Upgrades. Anyway, so yeah, I figure we go take the boat, we close the big wooden doors, and we're out of sight, and we're safe in this strangely, like, underworldy
Did you
town.
guys meet with Z's at all, or?
Yeah, she drew up the contract for us.
Oh,
Goblin contracts, best contracts.
so we still don't really know where Casey's at, or?
Were we supposed to do that? We just went to buy cake. I mean, we came back with a warehouse too. I think that's a pretty good upsell.
Yeah. Okay. Good point.
Wait, we have a warehouse now?
Ah, there you are, now. Where you been? Did you have some cake?
Yes, I was enjoying the cake. It's something.
We
The lettering
established that it
size.
tastes like nothing, in fact.
I'm waiting for the bachelor cake now with 30% more flavor.
Instant bachelor cake.
Mm.
We'll work on that. But for now, come on, let's get someplace safe. Plus, Lissy, I don't think can move. She's just kind of been staring at parts for the last, I don't know, a while.
I'm more afraid of what happens when she does start moving. We go back and we see that the warehouse has been turned into a walking tank.
I mean, there are worse things.
Yes, but there are better things.
I mean, it wasn't great when Orlando did. Oh, never mind.
Exactly.
What's
We
this
don't need
about
any more.
Orlando?
We don't need any more bird necks right now. Is my point. No matter what she tells you, we don't need any more bird necks.
She hasn't brought it up. I guess
But
this is
she
a bad
will.
time to mention I bought her a book on skeletons.
Why would you?
Are you trying to get bird necks? Because this is how you get bird necks.
I'm sorry, bird what?
Large machine thing that bird make.
Yeah, you weren't around for the first one.
Guys,
What is in
irrelevant,
this cake exactly?
Low-fat
Okay.
filling? I don't know. What's cake usually made out of?
Eggs and
I mean-
flour?
Flour, eggs.
Whose eggs?
Typically bird eggs.
Lizzie's gonna be pissed.
Not those kinds of birds. The small ones, the ones that don't build giant mechs.
Doves. It's all doves.
When you say the small one, Melkish's head just kind of tips to the side questioningly.
The
And he's
smaller
like, that
ones.
don't build bird bags. Oh, okay.
The sober ones.
There are sober birds.
Yeah,
Really?
they don't build mechs.
Or talk really.
But
Mm.
guys, irrelevant. We now have a private dock, guys. Like-
That's nice.
It's kind of styling, right?
I mean, it
Yeah.
would be convenient.
We got a
I
place to
suppose.
store our stuff. We have a place to put the boat and lock it up, so we don't got to worry about people trampling all over the boat while we're gone. I mean, this is like win-win, right? Plus cake.
I'm still not sold on the cake here.
Out of
appreciate
character.
the
You haven't
message.
tried your other cake.
Yeah, what happened to the... Out of character, what happened to the actual cake that they
It's
got?
apparently
That's
bland
the
and
actual
flavorless.
cake. It has 0 flavor, apparently.
Oh.
It looks nice.
It tastes like blue.
It looks
Oh.
nice, but somehow because they didn't actually specify flavor, it just has no flavor whatsoever.
It just went to the null default value when they were choosing flavors.
Oh, God.
Flavor equals 0.
So we haven't even gotten into the instant cake yet.
No, I infused
gave-
mine with rum.
Mm.
Yeah, I gave 3 of them out.
Oh god.
Decided to hold on to mine in case of an emergency.
How is it, Ferris? I haven't actually had one yet, so thank you for testing that for me.
How is it, Dan?
It tastes like an average cake. Soaked in
Perfectly
rum.
adequate.
So with rum, it actually tastes like a decent rum cake.
Like, it'd be perfectly good with some tea type of thing.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit more dense than you'd want.
So it's kind of like pound cake / fruit cake without the fruit.
Yeah.
I can actually live with that.
Not quite dense enough to be considered brownie, but dense cake.
It is not brownie nor blondie.
Really, we need to figure out what happens if we pour different liquids on it, because he poured rum on it, made a rum cake. If we pour hot chocolate on it, do we get a chocolate cake?
There's only one way to find out.
What happens if we pour tea on it? What kind of cake would that
What
make?
happens if we pour lava on it?
I would guess it just burns.
Yeah,
That would be my
Well,
it
guess.
becomes fuel.
We don't get a lava cake?
Not that, I mean... Wow.
Briefly before it catches fire and burns.
Then it becomes a fuel puck.
You don't want to know how you end up with a urinal cake.
Oh god. Oh.
I quit.
I mean,
Anyway.
it seems pretty straightforward.
Right.
Anyway, I mean, I don't really want to leave Lissy in a catatonic state with Bruno rummaging around a place filled with tall shelves. It's just kind of a recipe for disaster, folks.
Yeah,
When,
we
when
should
you say
probably
that
do
she's catatonic, she's still alive, right?
Uh,
You
yes.
If that place is full of airship
I'm
parts,
pretty
I don't
good
think,
about knowing when things are dead.
I think she's living it up.
But she sort of, like, her beak, like, fell open, and I kind of had to push her further into the warehouse so she wasn't blocking the doorway.
Yeah, we should probably get back, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like something to check up on.
Did you lock the door at least? Is she there by herself?
No, Bruno's with her.
That doesn't make me feel better.
It doesn't make me feel great, which is why I'm hoping we can move this along.
It's like, wait a minute, can Door pilot us there? Because I'm not super confident moving this thing myself.
Yeah.
Who was driving the boat before?
Lissy.
We'll see.
Oh.
Even though I asked if the door couldn't do it.
We just let Lissy do it.
Can anyone else drive a boat?
Door could
try.
competently bring you there.
Door it
Fantastic.
is.
Door to the warehouse.
Funhouse sort of half raises his hand, then thinks better of it and puts his hand back down.
A voice Hunhow has not quite heard yet goes, "Affirmative. I will bring my friends to the warehouse."
What the hell is that?
It's
Well-
a long story.
That's our friend Door. He's a boat.
Would
How
you like to
often
buy-
do you people make sense?
Would you guys like to buy Hunhow a cake that explains this one too?
Mukesh just hands him an instant cake that says, "Don't ask."
Okay, just remove one instant cake from your.
God damn it.
And with
I
a
don't care,
cake wipe,
comedic effect.
Cake accounting.
and with a cake wipe, the scene changes from this dock to the inside of your new warehouse. You now have a base of operations, but you are no closer to your goal than you were earlier.
Yeah, we kind of suck at this, guys.
Didn't Lissy get a note for a warehouse somewhere nearby?
Yeah,
I don't know.
she did.
I don't remember if she shared that with any of us though.
No, well, it was mentioned, but I can't remember in which context.
I can't remember anything because this was 2 weeks ago.
Yes, Lissy would pass along two bits of information. One, that Samuel the merman that you met back at the dive bar did give information about a warehouse near this part of town. The second bit of information that you would give is that generally the instant machine is calibrated for cake or food pellet, or fuel pellet. That said, there seems to be an experimental function that, with a great deal of energy, it can instantize one medium-sized once per adventure.
A medium-sized what?
He says what?
Inanimate object.
Oh, okay.
Once per. I just cut it out a few times.
Adventuring day.
Once per adventuring. So
I
you
heard
can...
once per adventuring. Sorry.
Adventuring day.
Okay. Just double check. I cut out every single time you said day.
Yeah, it sounded like once per ever.
All right.
Does anybody have anything they need to shrink?
Your
Fun how,
egos,
again,
right? Heyo.
Sort of half raises his hand, then
Medium
thinks
size?
better of it, and lowers his hand.
True.
You
Listen,
think
Hana,
very
I'll
highly
never
of me, Gunhild.
Can we put Carnifex in there? Put Lissy in there, make her even tinier.
Pocket Lissy. Just add water.
Instant Lissy.
Oh my god.
Lissy would point out that in the instructions for the machine, there was a specific warning that don't put in anything alive that you want to keep that way.
It's a good warning.
So, like, medium-sized object would be something like the size of, say, a half-elf or a human, or what would be a medium-sized
Hold
object?
on, I'll be back.
But we want to keep them alive.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I want to get an idea of the size that I.
About the size of a large layered wedding cake.
Oh, okay. Fair
How
enough.
many layers?
4.
It doesn't say anything about weight, does it? I mean,
No.
Nope.
Does it weigh the same if we put it in?
that's a good
Doesn't
question.
say anything about that.
God, there's so much science we could do with the instant cakes and now the instant maker.
Well, really, yeah. I mean, I just want to see. Curious, piqued my curiosity how this contraption works. I want to get something that looks. I mean, we're in a place full of airship parts. I want to find something just heavy as hell, but roughly the size that will fit in the machine, and then see if we can instantize it, and if I can easily fit it in my pocket.
Yeah, it's like a... You find a big old engine block type looking part. One that Lissy assures you is busted and broken and no good to anybody. Do you instantize it?
I look around to make sure nobody tells me no, and if I get the okay, then I'm gonna try and instantize it.
Wait.
Hunhow flashes 2 thumbs up and is like, yes, do it.
What do the instructions say about metal?
It's just that inanimate.
But metal. Like,
Oh.
won't the machine like explode?
No.
Like, could we willing to risk our instant cake for the sake of experimentation?
We have 70 of them.
No, I have.
You have 70 of them. We are surrounded by
Break
cake
the
mix.
machine, then I can't give you more.
Hunhow kind
I'm
of
sure
looks at
Lizzie
the
can
flat
fix it.
disk of cake. I'm actually pretty content with this.
So I got 1 yes, 1 if you break the machine, I can't get you more cake. Anybody else?
And there's absolutely nothing else mentioned.
And then
in
Ferris
the
throws the
instructions
switch.
anywhere.
Cash kind of hides behind Hunhow.
There is a dry ice wave of smoke that clears across the room, and where the engine block once sit, you see a shiny-looking small puck.
Ferris tries to pick it up.
It is very heavy, but not as heavy as the engine block.
Well, I hope we don't need to shrink anything else important today.
Huh.
I have a plan. Like I can still like put it in my pack.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So.
What does...
look,
Do I dare
it'll be
ask? Okay. Hun now just looks at his instant cake that says "Don't ask" on it and kind of slowly nods.
The input for the instant device, both of them seem to shutter slides across the both, and you see on a strange little screen just the scrolling word charging.
Well, that's interesting. I wonder if we could carry a lot of gold this way.
Ferris immediately like slaps his forehead.
Well, I mean, it's not quite as heavy.
Well, I know.
You
I'm
could put,
I'm
like-
saying like I should have thought of that.
We could put like, I don't know, 10,000 gold coins and shrink it down to a puck, and then all we gotta do is add water, and oh god, what if it goes off prematurely?
You've made a DuckTales bomb.
Wait, that's got me thinking. What if we used ball bearings? Because, I mean, you have to assume if it's big enough compressed to a small enough space,
Guys.
force of the expansion.
Yes, exactly. Force of expansion. What materials do we know are extremely volatile on contact with water?
Instant
show's over.
materials?
Hunhow?
Yeah, that too.
I'm saying we could just make bombs. Itty bitty bombs.
All
How
right.
long does
Actually,
it
out
take
of
to
character, that's a fucking great idea.
I have them sometimes. Oh god, you just need something to shoot a pellet and then like a water gun.
It doesn't even need to be a water gun. You just get that on somebody's bloodstream. Blood is a lot of water. Now it's going to instatize inside of them and explode.
That is a terrifying thought. How dare you?
That was all out of character, by the way. Hunhow doesn't know any of that science.
I mean,
like,
that works too, but you need to figure out how to like get them to either bleed on it or get it in them.
Drink
arrow
it.
point.
Well, I guess you can't drink it, can you? No. That okay. That falls apart.
Make an arrow point.
Yeah.
Fuck! I'm gonna have instant cake line crossbow bolt.
Instant bomb crossbow bolts.
All right. You've made an instant engine block, and know that there might be a warehouse of mer people nearby.
Well, we don't really have any other leads, do we? Ferris kind of looks around.
What did I find out last session again?
You found out mostly things about the kind of state of how the Empire had different factions of the Empire seemed to be pretty connected to Boss Wingspring, the kobold crime boss that owned that restaurant you de-restauranted.
It was barely a restaurant when we showed up.
It's a
We
lot less of
paid
when
it.
we left.
Yeah, we paid it good and proper.
And Cyril's with us, but he doesn't really know anything about anything, right?
That sounds like Cyril.
Like he
What
was
are
just
we
kinda-
going to do with Cyril?
Good question.
Looks at
You
the
do-
instant cake machine.
Well, I
You do
mean,
know
No. Malcash, no.
You do know that for some reason Casey is interested in Cyril.
And Minerva is in good with Casey,
Mhm.
to our knowledge. Okay.
Well, let's see if we can keep him around then.
Melkesh looks around to see if Cyril is standing around first.
He somehow gravitated towards the books and records of this chop shop and is just doing them out of boredom.
So, the question really becomes, are we willing to trade Cyril to meet with Casey?
Well, who are
Well,
we
we don't
trading
know
them
if that's
to?
necessary yet.
Yeah.
No.
Seems like a major ethical quandary.
Oh, we already got you the cake.
The cake is, the cake is not future-proof.
Hey, it said, we're sorry we got you into this moral quandary. It didn't say that one or this one. It just says...
I agree with Gunhild. I don't think we need to, offer up our allies as collateral.
No, I definitely agree. That would be a bad idea.
But knowing that we've dealt a big blow to their rival might get us in good with them.
For better or for worse.
I mean, they don't know that we did that, though, do they?
Nope.
But we could tell them. Of course, that kind of paints a target on their back if the other people find out. The ones whose restaurant we exploded.
We could continue exploding and leave a calling card, and then we could be like, hey, we did both of those.
I feel like we shouldn't explode things any more than necessary.
I would appreciate that.
Exploding another building full of kobolds would be unnecessary at this point. I think we just need to make contact with boss
Minerva.
Thank you, Ferris.
Okay. Whatever you all think is right, I'm just here to support. And apparently eat cake, because I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this cake.
Then why did you buy all of it?
Because it's fucking cake! I don't have to eat, I want to eat.
No, we'll try this. We'll try this Gunhild's way without murdering anybody. Hopefully.
That would be a refreshing change of pace.
I agree.
Well, at least we have a place to keep the boat safe for now. So how do we find this Minerva?
Ferris just walks over to Lissy, who is still, beak agape, and then just reaches into her front breast pocket and pulls out that card that Samuel gave her.
It's so much fun.
Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, you can find it, and it's very close by.
Alright, so I guess what are we waiting for? This place is secure. And Malkesh would go on over to the big doors.
You, as you're going out and kind of can look through a little peephole on the way, you see several kobolds in front of the door.
I'm sorry, hold on, my family just was talking to me. There's several kobolds in front of the door while the door is still open.
So the door is just open.
Are they trying to walk in, or are they just kind of on the other side of the door?
They're kind of just on the other side of the door, kind of peering in.
Malkesh kind of walks up, sorry, closed, and pulls on the rope to close the doors.
It just pretty much goes right down in front of them, and you just hear, "Hey, hey!"
What was
is
that?
going on over there?
There may be some kobolds outside.
Maybe?
Certainly.
Say it sounds like kobolds.
Okay, that's progress. We're talking in definitive terms.
But we should be okay. I told them we're closed.
I don't think that may be enough to dissuade them.
You hear a banging on the goblin-sized door.
When
Ferris
you bought
walks
this,
over
did they
to it.
tell you about the
and just-
kobolds?
Ferris just sits next to the goblin-sized door, and then opens it. Can I help you?
You just look up. You don't look like Gilwiz.
Who?
Gilwiz, the goblin. the owner of this place.
Malkesh kind of like gently shoves Ferris slightly to the side so he can stand in the doorway. Nah, Gilwiz decided to leave town. We bought the place from him. This instant cake stuff's gonna be hot, man.
They look at each other and pretty much... Do you have the documentation to prove that?
I sure do.
Can I see it, please?
Malkesh holds it up. Does not give it to him.
It looks... Well, I'll be damned. They're the new owners of it. All right. Your debts are due tomorrow.
Debts.
What debts?
Well, it just says right here on the bottom of this contract, you own everything associated with this warehouse. That includes the 5 million gold debt Galwiz owed to Boss Wingspring.
Malkesh just closes the door. Just stony expression, door closes.
Cash.
What was that about? Wait, I heard something about debts. I was trying to make sure Lissy was alright.
No, Cash, I thought you said that Z's wrote the contract for you.
He did write the contract. I have a feeling they're using
did
a very specific interpretation of the contract.
Alright, see you tomorrow morning!
That's going to be a problem. The good news, though, is that Boss Wingspring's men don't recognize us.
But we killed most of them.
So they might
sorry,
recognize Cyril, though.
Well, Cyril wasn't by the door, thankfully.
That's thankfully, yes. We
Did you
should.
say my name?
What?
Did you say my name? Is somebody looking for me?
No.
We were just making sure you were okay. It's fine.
Alright.
Please stay back there, away from any windows in which somebody could peer through.
This place was just bleeding money leading up to this. No wonder they tried to get rid of it.
Yes, we've
Yeah.
made that discovery ourselves now.
Hey, we should probably meet with this boss Minerva sooner rather than later.
Yeah, apparently we have visitors coming tomorrow morning.
Do you think it will be safe to leave Cyril here? I mean, he's already been captured by Boss Wingspring once. If they decide to come sooner than tomorrow morning...
We'll leave Lissy with him.
Well, they don't
That makes
know
better.
he's here necessarily.
Right, but if they come in here looking for their debt and break the door down and there is Cyril, well, that is a problem.
Well, if we walk outside with him, they're definitely probably watching us right now.
That is a good point. But still, I don't think it's particularly safe either way. Is there any other options?
Malkesh looks at the instant cake machine.
No! No, it's recharging. We couldn't even if we wanted to.
Did you not listen to what Lissy said the moment we walked in?
Well, kinda.
I mean, if you want Cyril to not be alive,
I mean,
I
it's not
suppose
so
you can
bad.
do that without the machine.
No, I don't...
If you
Taking
want
him
Or
Well,
would you
do
like?
you not
Would you
want
like to
that?
compress him first and then make a cake about it afterwards?
Malkesh kind of looks up like he's thinking about that one. That one really... Not sure there.
Did somebody say cake?
I just what?
Didn't you see all the cake mix laying around?
You know,
Cyril-
Cyril, I never thought I'd say this, but I think I finally understand you.
Cyril, you're really good with numbers, right?
Yes, that's been my job.
You think you can turn what we have here into $5 million in profit by tomorrow morning?
Just 1 second.
I'm choosing
there's
to
a
believe
dog
that
here
was
as
in
well.
character. You're like, yes,
Yeah.
sure. 1 second. Just one moment. I'll be right back with
Yeah,
a few
just
moments.
goes, crunches some numbers, brings out some paperwork. No,
Cyril looks
you
at it.
fucking imbecile.
No, I don't think. Not even close.
What about with Ziza's help?
No, not with what's here. These cake materials were bought very, very on the cheap. And according to the records, pretty much all the price on airship parts, well, have dropped due to market saturation recently.
Right. So tomorrow morning, then we're gonna have more killing.
Can we do this without just killing everything?
Listen, do you got 5 million gold sitting around? Do you think Wingspring's gonna come in here and say, "Okay, we'll give you more time"?
You're just gonna murder all of them because you got a bad contract because you didn't read it.
To be fair, we weren't. It's more about things unsaid than what was in the contract.
Oh, that makes it better then.
Slightly.
We can give Wingspring something more important to worry about.
Can we just threaten them or harm them without killing them outright? I'm
Yes.
willing
I mean,
to
I hadn't thought of
compromise
that,
here.
but I mean, I'm certainly willing to let you try talking with them tomorrow.
They don't seem like the talking types.
That's what I was trying to tell you. I mean, don't get me wrong. If we could just make them go away, I'm all for that.
I like to
that
make
should
them
work.
go away. See, we're working here. We're
But
communicating.
how do we make them go away? That doesn't involve ripping the souls out of them.
But
Well, there,
You
There are
don't have to
several
kill
ways.
everything.
what about us
Not all-
going
everything, just most of 'em.
away? We have a boat that moves.
But it's a nice warehouse.
It is
Plus,
a
we're
nice
not
warehouse.
down
We'd have to get Lissy out of here.
Well, we could load up what we really want onto the boat. We can't obviously take everything. We can't fit a warehouse on ship. Or the boat.
Rakesh looks at the instant cake
Like-
machine.
Or can we?
There's like a moment. There's actually a moment of or like a just a flash in Gunhill's eyes for a moment. It's like, wait. What was? Who do you owe the debts to again?
Apparently, Wingspring.
Windspring, and she just kind of like flips through her notebook. We can't leave.
Why
We have to
not?
take care of this. Apparently, I need information from Windspring.
We're not exactly on good bargaining terms with them at the moment.
No.
Well, we'll have to figure out a way to be.
Okay, well then I guess we better go talk to Minerva, and I'm sorry to say, I think that means Cyril needs to stay here.
I think he'll be fine. We got Lissy here, and well, she's not gonna be answering the door. That's for sure.
No, that's for sure. We just make sure we lock up real good.
You just hear Greg's voice from the ship. I mean, I can stay too. I
Oh,
started
yes.
out as a guard.
That would be very nice, Takashi.
Who is that
It
guy?
would certainly be helpful.
Fun how leans down towards Malkesh and realizes he needs to lean further, so he just gets down on one knee. That's Nastasia's boyfriend, I think. It's complicated.
Oh, good for her.
Why was that
Speaking
being
of characters,
whispered?
yeah. Speaking of characters we're leaving behind, maybe I'll bring Wolfram some cake.
All right, I forgot we have a guy.
You know,
Yeah, we haven't really
the
fed
one that
him.
we have tied up on our ship that we've just had there for days.
Give him some of the flavorless cake.
Just
I'm
a slice of
assuming
cake that says,
someone's
"Sorry,
been
forgot to
feeding him
feed you."
this whole time. You know, you gotta feed and water your captives.
I mean, it depends.
I know plenty of governments that water their captives.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Ah, don't feed him very often,
Depends on
though.
the method of watering.
Yup.
Hey, well, that sounds like that's settled. Why don't we go
Term
find this
Geneva
Minerva person?
Convention.
Yeah, it should be right around here somewhere. Be it.
If there is a Rome Geneva Convention, I'm pretty sure Malkesh is a walking, talking violation of it.
Walking, talking, war crime. Not a war criminal, a war crime.
The act of using Malkash in war is strictly prohibited.
Goblin contracts are really funny about how specific they can get sometimes.
Yeah, and this was done up by a friend, too.
But yes, let's go see this boss Minerva. Perhaps she can get us some help. as well as
So
what we
where
need.
can we find her?
All right. It wouldn't take long to get to the nearby warehouse, and you see a warehouse that, in a similar way, has a much larger kind of entryway in and out directly into the canal, and you see it. You see multiple occasions. Mer people go in, and then come out with kind of sacks and bags strapped to them, to which they dive underwater and take off.
This
So
seems
is-
shady.
It's underwater?
It is still a warehouse, but it's unlike yours, which just seems to have a garage door on it, opening it up. It seems like the entire front of this building opens up into the canal.
I just realized I'm carrying 30 instant cakes on me. Hold on a second. Cash runs back and puts the cake somewhere dry. As funny as that would be, I actually want some of those.
Yeah, Hunhao, as Malkesh kind of runs back, Hunhao nudges Ferris with a elbow. You're the lead on this one.
Okay. So is there like a door that I can walk up to, or?
You see that there's kind of like a mesh staircase along one side that kind of gives a platform, and the closer you get in, you can kind of see that this building has tons and tons of storage along the side of and lots of and a couple of what look like clerks going back and forth, but is mostly built for the fish-tailed merm people. And this grate would go down to behind a desk, which you kind of see a bored-looking merman at.
Hail and well met, friend.
He looks up, and he's just like, "Oh, it's you guys. You're the birds' friends."
Yeah. She
Oh.
regrets that she couldn't make it here.
Oh, that's too bad. You looking to get something transported?
Kind of in a manner of speaking. We're looking to make a business deal. You see, we've recently acquired a warehouse. We're basically neighbors at this point. We recently acquired a warehouse of our own, manufacturing old airship parts and whatnot.
Oh, whoa! You bought Galwiz's place?
Yeah. So you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. Did something happen to Galwiz?
No. He glances. Ferris kind of glances back over at Malkesh. We just decided to take that off his hands.
Oh, that's much worse for you then.
Not ideal.
Malkesh comes huffing up. A cake is safe. It's okay. Cake's taken care of.
Oh, you guys definitely bought Galwiz's stuff.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Ah, hey, I'm Samuel. You're the birds' friends?
Yeah. Me and Lissy, we go way back. Oh, why am I huffing and puffing? I don't have to breathe anymore. This is really confusing.
Hunhao is very confused, despite being immune to confusion.
That just raises further questions.
It really
Yeah.
does.
Definitely not Jay trying to get out of the situation he created for himself.
So Samuel, how's it going, man? What's so bad, huh?
I like to think he's like, "Oh wait, I don't have to breathe anymore," and he just immediately stops.
Your friend Beardo there was about to say you had a business proposition.
Beardo. Oh, sorry, Ferris.
It has a nice beard though.
Well, I try.
I can't
Anyways.
grow body hair.
I'm sure you could just borrow someone else's.
I mean, that could help if you wanted.
I think I'd look a little strange with a beard, honestly.
We can try it out later.
You look perfectly
anyways,
normal
Samuel.
now.
So,
You severely
Um,
misunderstand and starts growing knee beards instead.
Oh God.
No, it's tree beard, not knee beard.
so Samuel,
Yes.
I have a feeling that we have a mutual. Well, I don't want to say enemy, but antagonist between our two new enterprises here.
I concur.
And well, we just recently found out that they're coming to collect tomorrow. So, our timetable is pretty short.
Wow. Callie was really screwed you on this one, didn't he?
And not great.
Yeah, he didn't mention that part.
Jill was. Ah.
In all fairness,
But
you
the
would
way I see it-
anyway.
I don't want to pay any gold to Wingspring here. And if I can do you guys a favor along the way, perhaps we can come to an arrangement.
Should we mention we may or may not have blown up a restaurant here?
Probably not
What?
out of character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Save that for the higher ups.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look. I think you came at the right time. I'm looking to get out of the mountain run. And maybe start making some real money and maybe put my own name on the map. Boss is going to own this city soon, and I want to be in a better position than having to go through dark caves once a month.
Well, hey, yeah. I mean, if you scratch our back, we'll scratch your dorsal fin. That sort of thing.
Does get itchy sometimes. Oh, watch out for James's. He's a little ticklish around there. He kind of grins with big shark teeth, as it's a joke. It's a joke.
Right. So like the mountain pass, is that what you want us to do? Is just move something up through there?
Oh no! Jeez, there's no way you could do that. You'd be stopped at every checkpoint. It's why we do it. We can travel
Right.
underwater.
Good point.
No, I just want to get out of it. Look. You came at the exact right time. You see, Wingspring's got his back up against the wall right now. He's lost two of his big patrons apparently, and he's now worried people are trying to whack him. Well, after he apparently had an incident last night at one of his properties.
You don't say.
Sorry.
Did it blow up? Was it impressive?
Really impressive, from what I heard.
Mokesh not so secretly beams.
It's like
Gunhill's
consider,
tail just like whacks him.
consider like that was flashy. Like I mean, it is blowing up a restaurant of a desperate crime boss. So I mean, it is as dumb as it is flashy, but it still was impressive.
Secretly, Mokesh still takes it as a compliment.
All right, look. All right. Let's not talk about this here. I'm done for the day. I was just minding the shop. I'm not on any runs. You got a place we could discuss something in private?
I guess we could meet at our warehouse.
Good enough. There's another cake wipe, and it zooms out, and you're back at your warehouse, and Samuel's kind of got his elbows up against the dry dock as he's half submerged.
Does it play like a little interlude during the cake wipe?
Instant cakes, they're really good. They'll happen at any time.
Very literal.
Well,
I feel like this instant cake company needs some help
Instant
in
cakes.
marketing.
I'm
Instant
really
cakes.
sad.
It works.
I'm really sad that we didn't have a cake wipe with the Swipesy Cakewalk song from Joplin.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I got from the look of you when I talked to Lissy back there that you guys are all right with some, let's say under the table activities.
Hunhau's sort of sitting a little further down the dock with his feet in the water, just kind of idly splashing, but he pipes up. We'd prefer it if we didn't have to.
But we're not afraid of doing so.
We can blow up a restaurant or two. I mean, what?
Look, it's. Don't worry about it. I'm not a killer. I'm not into that aspect. You know, we try actually. We may have some big beefy merboys rough some people up, but we try to stay out of the whole whacking business. How would you feel about kidnapping a crime boss and delivering them to another crime boss?
I'm down.
What crime bosses are we talking here?
Which
Well-
crime boss to which crime boss?
We'd be kidnapping the one you owe money to and delivering them to the one I work for.
So Wingspring to Minerva.
Yes.
So
What would happen to Wingspring once we handed them over to Minerva?
Don't ask silly questions like that. We don't need to know. But we
We
do
kinda
need to
did.
know whether or not that would remove our debt.
Well, I imagine you'd have him in a situation. I mean, look, it's essentially the idea is Wingspring is Minerva's last major step to completely controlling this city. If that's the case, I mean, it'd probably just be a little interrogation, a little agreement. As I said, we're not in the killing, and then we send him off to exile, and then we own all his business assets. And one of those business assets would be the debt to you, the debt that the former owner of this place owes. He would then owe it to Minerva.
If different person we owe the debt to isn't like super encouraging here.
Okay, look. Okay, so this is the way I see this, and maybe it's a different perspective here, but you can owe the debt to somebody who is desperate and looking to get anything they can do to try to regain their slice of the pie, or you can, in transferring that debt, do a huge favor for the person the debt's handed to.
These numbers are kind of beyond my understanding. Okay, all right.
Boss Minerva's a pretty forgiving lady when it comes to people who do her big favors.
I mean, it was with this amount of gold, it would still be nice to get something in writing, but yeah, I mean, I think you have a point, Samuel.
Well-
Out of curiosity, not that we aren't incredibly experienced professionals, but does he have to be alive? Just in case there's an accident.
Absolutely. You cannot kill him.
Hear that, everybody?
Got
Malkesh
it.
just kind of kicks some instant cake mix on the ground.
Some goes into the water and becomes tiny cupcakes.
Shit, that stuff is good.
Hunhau just kind of watches the
They're
instant
immediately
cake.
recalled.
Though they weren't properly calibrated, so they seem to instantly dissolve.
How do you calibrate? You know what? Hunhau pulls out his
Your
instant, yeah, pulls out his cake that says "Don't ask" on it, and just looks at it for a moment and then puts it away.
Okay, look, I know that you kind of want some of this in writing, but this is more my plan than the boss's plan.
On that note, what does this get you?
Look. Right now, I have a run. I'm one of the only people who does it because it pays really well, but it's very dangerous. I take things from here all the way through the Empire, through the underground caverns, right to Birthforge Heart. It's very, very lucrative. And it's very, very lucrative for the boss, and I need a pretty big feather in my cap to not have to do it anymore. This is a very big feather in my cap.
And we can't
Incidentally,
kill it.
we compress that feather to make it.
Well, if you kill him, it's just gonna transfer to his next in line, and then it doesn't give us any advantage.
Funhouse sort of tugs at Ferris. Couldn't we just get him a feather from the goblin market?
It's a metaphor.
Oh, okay.
But I like where your
And
head's
he'll
at.
just kind of steps up. Listen, I think the majority of us would prefer that he not be dead.
Yes, definitely
move
that
on-
would
let's
be the
move on to
preferable
that
option.
Just much more portable when he's dead.
Malkesh, you're not part of the negotiations anymore.
Like I just sort of pulls back, mopes, and starts eating an instant cake. Without
We'll
adding
talk
water.
later.
It just expands in his mouth, and it's like, ah!
Think you take
She smacks him on the back a few times to get the cake out of his mouth.
Ah, that was actually
I'm pretty sure the Heimlich I'm pretty sure that the Heimlich on Malkesh for Gunhild would just be like picking up and maybe giving a rather aggressive hug.
She just like squeezes
After,
him.
Just like,
yeah. After that, she kind of considers what he said about not breathing earlier, then just kind of shakes her head.
Oh right.
Malkesh just points to the house cake.
Funhouse pulls out the don't ask cake and just holds it up like a little sign.
It's like, you need to realize 90% of Malkesh's issues are literally all in his head.
You guys are interesting group.
That's one word for it.
There's something.
But
Yeah.
effective.
We're a group.
You just
Are
hear
you
from the
sure?
background, Cyril. That's questionable.
I'm questioning that.
Oh, I've got something for this. Funhouse pulls out the don't ask cake again.
Getting a lot of use out of that.
It's actually been a very useful item. Thank you,
I
Malkesh.
guess I might have missed it. Do we know where Wingspring is right now?
Yes. But I want you guys on board before I pop up some of that intel.
Well, I don't think we have too much of a choice, right, gang? I mean, yeah.
Ooh.
Well, at least if we do it this way, we can do it our way and make sure nobody dies.
So, yeah, now's the point.
Yeah, that's totally our way.
You're funny.
Malkesh, don't kill people. It's bad.
I'll try not to.
It's not enough to try. You have to actually not
Do it.
Okay, don't get hurt then.
Okay.
So I think we're on board, Samuel.
All right.
Hit us with the details.
So, I guess the first thing is the reason I'm asking you is because you both look like competent, you know, competent hands for hire, but in case something goes wrong, I don't want this coming right back to the boss. So it's why I can't just kind of get together a big group of our burly boys and then just go at him. Also because that's exactly what he's pretty much protecting from. Because, okay, in the residential sector, there's some very, very densely packed canals. No place to walk, just right to the edge. Just small, narrow, easy not easy to navigate, but if you're in it, pretty hard to find. Wing Springs essentially just motorcading through there on a houseboat with some guards, and he is especially looking out for underwater.
So we go in up top.
Hey, I have an idea.
Does it involve exploding things?
Mukesh stops a second and has to think through his plan. Not particularly.
On
Actually,
how
I mean,
narrows his eyes in suspicion. Go on.
he expects us to pay him money, right?
Yes.
Well,
So he's gonna want to talk to us, right?
Pretty sure he has goons for that.
Good
This is a
system.
lot of money.
That is not a small amount of money.
I'm not
They
gonna
just-
give it to some goon and then have them show up the next day and be like, "Hey, you still owe us $5 million, blah blah blah," you know, that kind of shit. We just get a duffel bag. We fill it with, oh, I don't know, what do we have? Several dozen of lying around.
Instant cake?
We just need to make sure the bag doesn't get wet.
Well, we
You
need to
just
not
said
go
that.
into the water anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I can take care of that. Don't you worry about that.
Okay. I like what you're thinking here. That can get somebody right on the boat. I don't think he's gonna. He looks at all of you. I don't think he's gonna let a whole bunch of armed, powerful-looking folks just on his boat, though.
Some of us have
Oh.
ways to get on.
Thank you.
Well.
I look powerful.
I think that was a compliment. I'm not used to that.
Well, I think Malkesh, your name's on the deed, so I think you bring the money. Gunhild, you're his. I think you can probably get on with as his protection, and then
I mean, they've
self.
seen his
Nastasia and Hun Hao
protection,
was-
though.
You got otherwise.
I can go in the bag.
Yeah, Ferris, they've seen you technically.
Well, that's okay.
No, don't worry. I got a plan.
Let's hear it.
We can. The bunch of us can still. Well. No, I only. If you three go on, I'm only one person to kind of help you out with there. And
How are you
as I said,
planning on helping?
well, I mean, if I know where he's at, so we can kind of tail you to make sure that there's backup if something goes wrong. Or in this case, when you try to kidnap him. I mean, you got a good getting in plan, but getting out.
Well, we do happen to have a driver local.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I got something then. So I would be. It would be what? He looks at Hun Hao and then looks at Ferris. You two? And he looks at Nastasia. You said you can hide somewhere, and then you guys would go on as protection.
Or
All right, let me just see something. And he kind of swims right to where Hun Hao is kind of dipping his feet in, and then turns his back to him. Jump on.
Actually, wait, does it count as the next day?
Hun Hao sort of hesitantly hops on the man's back.
Oh, okay, yeah, wow, you're a big boy. Okay. And he kind of swims around for a bit. All right, this is doable. This is doable. You think your friend would be all right with this?
Well, we did pay him quite a bit of money.
I mean, look, there's.
Probably not.
I got some pals, and like they really, really, really don't. They want to stay legit.
Well, he's a rickshaw driver, so couldn't he get multiple of us instead of like this? Or would that draw too much attention?
I mean, I think he could. I mean, I'm just saying. Look, it's. Kobolds are crafty. I think we need some mobility. I mean, no, that's a good idea. The rickshaw can be the getaway vehicle. Oh, he looks at Hanhao. You're good at this heisting thing.
Hanao nervously beams, considering he's still, partially submerged in water and doesn't know how to swim.
All right. So one of you will take the rickshaw, and then I can kind of float free for some mobility. Then 3 you will be on the boat proper. Okay. Yes. Yeah. This sounds like a plan.
Now we just need to get Porter on board. And also, can you swim me a little closer to the dock, please?
Oh, sorry. I was getting carried away. And he kind of
No, Hunhao was.
lets Hunhao hut back up.
Hanao sort of just scrambles up onto the dock and immediately, as soon as his feet are on solid ground, feels much better.
I'm really proud of you. That's the most time you spend in water without drowning since the last time I met you. Last time we saw you.
Yeah. That
I
was
need to get you some swimming lessons. For no other reason than because I just really want to see Hunhao and water wings.
There is another cake wipe, and as the screen comes back,
I really like those cake wipes.
you just hear you want me to do what?
I mean, it'll be relatively simple, Porter. It's nothing we didn't pay you for.
We did mention we're paying you, right?
Like, are you paying me more?
Well, yes.
This is like actively dangerous. This is not just me waiting around.
Oh! Hunhao sort of pipes up, reaches into wherever the hell he keeps his actual things. It was never really elaborated on. Reaches into, oh no, actually, I did elaborate on where he's keeping this. Reaches into the waistline of his loincloth and pulls out the big wad of money that they got earlier and just immediately kind of folds it into Porter's hands.
Okay, this is
How did you do that?
I'm sorry, what?
That's
Never mind.
This is a lot of money.
Well, I hope it's enough.
Yeah, this would do a lot for me. All right, okay, I'll do it. But if things get super dangerous, I mean, I'm not a fighter.
We'll
I
keep
can't-
you safe, Porter. And if things do get too dangerous, then yes, you protect yourself.
And okay, and I'm. Jeez, you guys have been nice to me, but if I have to book it, I'm keeping the money because I'll probably have to buy a new rickshaw.
Of course. Hunhao quietly just keeps to himself that he wasn't sure how much money that was to begin with. He was just kind of handed a fat stack of bills and he held on to it because he thought it was important.
All right. Okay, I'm in.
You're a good man, Porter.
Sorry to get you involved in this, but we appreciate it.
Don't worry, we'll keep you safe.
We'll only be here for until the end of the week.
All right.
Or until we die.
You now have a plan to kidnap Boss Wingspring.
Hooray!
Huzzah!
Is there any other preparation you would like to do before moving along?
About how much time do we have?
You're into the evening now. And
it'll be tomorrow morning?
Yes.
Well, after the whole conversation with Porter, before he goes, Hunhow would kind of, reach out to him. He would sit on the edge of the dock and lean in close to Porter and sort of whisper to him, while we're doing this favor, could you do me one more small favor that I promise isn't dangerous?
Okay, I'm listening.
I don't know how to swim.
Okay, all right.
Would you be willing to teach me?
He kind of looks at your legs and then looks to his tail. The process is kind of different between how I do it and how you do it, but I guess the mechanics are the same.
Right, but if anybody knows how to do it, you'd be the best.
Okay, all right. We've got some time. You paid me way more than I've seen in a long time, so I guess I can throw in some complimentary swimming lessons.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it, especially considering that it seems that water is very constant up here, much more than I thought it would be.
Can you roll me a wisdom-based background check?
Oh god, I'm not sure what type of background for him
Learn
with...
to swim.
I say Constitution, Dex,
No, wisdom-based.
wisdom base.
Yeah, I'm just not sure
Yeah,
which of
learning.
his, would really work for learning.
Hunhow draws on all the times he went to the water slides down the World Tree.
No, I could see ancient elven culture, since, that's kind of big on his ability to read and learn. So I could see that, he's him being a bit of a bookworm, he's still very adaptable, easy, ready to learn. So yeah, I'm gonna go with ancient elven culture and wisdom. Well, of course, wisdom.
Excellent. Yeah. You're no longer going to sink like a stone. You kind of take to it and you understand it better than you did. You're not a prodigy at it, but with kind of Porter's help, he'll, to kind of keep you safe, will, put his hands on your hips and then swim under so that you stay afloat. And at some point, Cyril comes in and he just sees Hunhow in the water with Porter's hands on his hips, close chest to chest, and just go, okay, and then leave and walk.
Hunhow waves. Big smile on his face.
Right. Hunhow has learned to swim.
Da 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 da.
Get out of my head, you.
No, I'm planting dirty thoughts.
You don't need to.
Anyways,
I get it. It's funny because he's a plant.
yeah, tree boy.
Something wood, something.
Tree man and fish man swimming in the nighttime.
Is that our new theme song?
Yes.
It's better than the instant cake jingle. When you need cakes in a rush, instant cakes are the one you trust. There you go, that's better.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a great
That's pretty
one.
good, yeah. I like
That's
that one.
beautiful. I love it.
There we
Okay.
go.
Redemption.
Can we isolate that audio for later use?
Yeah, Darby, could you clip that for us, please?
Okay.
All right, I actually need to go finish up on dinner, so I'm gonna be gone for like 5 minutes.
All right. Does anybody else have any further preparation?
Besides sighing and shaking my head. No. Perhaps feeding the tied up brother. Still there.
Still there.
Gunhill considers ordering the cakes. It says, I know you guys are trying to do your best, and I'm sorry I got mad at you earlier, but then thinks better of it.
Be sure to choose a flavor.
It's coffee flavor just for Malkesh.
All right. If nobody else has any preparation to do, cake wipe, morning.
Get a lot of mileage out of that cake boy.
It's a 1 episode special. It's like, and the wipe is like an instant cake forming this time. So like it's like the image of like the next scene just kind of bubbling up into a layer cake, and then it zooms out, and then it's the morning.
Of course.
There is a knock on the door.
The door of where?
Our warehouse.
Yes.
Of the warehouse. Camille
Right.
just
Should we
kind of
nudge
grabs her
Jack?
hammer, like not fully armored yet, but just kind of grabs her hammer and like takes a look through the door. Who's there?
You look down and you see a kobold, and then you look up and you see that he is flanked by 2 minotaurs with hand cannons.
Blinks a few times.
The kobold collections.
I see. Hold, please. Just kind of closes the door, quietly goes and just puts on the rest of her armor, and then slams her hammer into the ground to wake everybody else up. We got a problem!
Malkesh kind of rolls out of bed where he was pretending to be snoring. They're here early.
Ah, you already knew. That's good.
Well, they said tomorrow morning.
Well, I just want to make sure you remembered. There's 2 minotaurs out there, and they have weapons. They look like they're like a gun, but minotaur sized.
What's a
Oh,
gun?
good.
It's
You know, like
a
like,
thing
like
that-
the cannons on the.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we'll say she said it's a cannon. Gun is a bad example. It's like they're like minotaur-sized cannons
Oh, that sounds
that
imposing.
the minotaurs themselves can hold.
Don't worry, I got this. And Malkesh goes over and just picks up a duffel bag full of
I say yeah.
cake.
Ferris begins stuffing
Oh.
duffel bags full of cake.
And
Is the cake
I
the
will-
important part right now?
Totally.
So you got money.
I will turn into, I don't know, what's a good thing to stay in a bag with? Bucket of chinchilla.
Oh, so cute.
Exactly. I'm
Ferris
going
holds
Don't
open
eat
the
never
the
shoot
instant
that.
cake.
Ferris holds open the bag so that the chinchilla can hop in.
Isn't that one of the worst rodents you can pick for getting wet? Because...
So is instant cake.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so you now have a bag of instant cake and 1 instant Nastasia.
Malkesh goes to the door and kind of opens it. Good morning. We have
Oh.
your money,
I'm actually kind of surprised.
but
Oh, there's
it
the
only
bug.
goes directly to Wingspring. Not giving it to you and then having someone come back tomorrow with more of these. Malkesh just really looks up, and it actually takes a while for his neck to crane all the way up to the Minotaur. Whatever the fuck these things are. Deal?
Can you roll a charisma background check?
I should try. I'm gonna go with Vagabond, because that's where he learned to lie.
Oh no!
I rolled a 1.
This is how this starts.
All right, fine. You can come.
That's more terrifying.
You can come. Just you, though.
But I can't bring all the money by myself.
I've got 2 good hands right here.
Yeah, and their hands are full. You gonna have them leave those big things behind? They're expensive. Boss gonna eat you out for leaving them behind.
Fine, I can take it then.
Are you sure? This may be, now, correct me if I'm wrong, this may be one of the few things Malkesh can look down on.
All right. Okay.
Wait, how many hit points does this
Listen,
guy have?
You've met Beardo, right? And he motions to Ferris behind him.
Ferris waves and then casts Charm Person.
Okay.
As long as he has fewer than 96 hit points, he is charmed. Well, wait, hang on. It's intelligence plus level versus MD,
All right.
which I don't
exactly
really.
96 hit points.
I don't know if I have. Well, I'll cast my Doomscry spell just because it has the same attack, but we won't.
Okay.
So 30.
Okay. He's. Yeah, that's a lot of effort to carry that. You've been shockingly cooperative for somebody who owes us a shitload of money, so yeah, fine. Just you and one person.
Sounds good to me.
And no weapons, though.
I got no weapons.
So yeah, Ferris hold up all of his hands and
Yeah,
you take off his knife
no
belt.
weapons.
All right, so you and him.
All of his hands. You mean that Ferris and Ferris hold up both of their hands?
Just the one Ferris right now. I didn't get that
Listen.
recharge ability back.
Oh
Yeah.
darn! If you had, I'd be like, do you know how many things we can summon if he can split two?
Oh my god, yeah.
You could have
So
40 cakes.
it's you and him.
And money.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Just-
how we? Oh well, okay. Do we want Gunhild or?
Wait, I thought it was Ferris and Hunhao going with Malkesh with the money.
All right. No, I want you because you owe the money, and that guy you said earlier and pointed to because I don't know, he's got.
Business associate.
I like him. He's got a nice face and beard.
Ferris
It's
beams.
a good beard.
It is a good beard.
Also,
No,
I
I-
don't think we can negotiate anybody else because I rolled a flub in one.
Ooh.
So you'll just have to follow get where we need to go, via some other method, like the merman rickshaw that we have. I'm not saying this in character, of course.
Yeah, but that was part of the plan, so then, yeah.
So Malkesh just kind of walks through the door and has Ferris follow, and then he kind of closes the door.
Ferris carries the duffel bags with him.
Oh shit.
See
Before-
y'all later.
Probably should have figured out something for you to yell so that I know when to chinchilla myself.
When we
Chinchilla.
start screaming,
That's all the time. You might just be really excited for more cake.
you have a point, but when we yell your name, it's probably time to hop out.
Okay.
Or if we say something like, say hello to my little friend, kind of a thing, and then everyone turns to Malkesh. No, not me.
My little friend, the chinchilla.
Your friend, the chinchilla buddy.
Yeah, Ferris will have like a. Well, no, never mind. That'd be silly because then the cake will fall out when I least need it to.
Yeah, we certainly don't want anything silly happening.
Silly
RP
in
with
this
instant
party?
Cakes.
I'm trying to think of like leaving the zipper open enough just for a chinchilla to pop out, but I'm pretty sure if the zipper is open enough for a chinchilla to pop out, a cake will fall out. Or they can see into it and know there's not gold in there.
I mean, all things considered, there's really no reason don't being in the bags. I could have
I
just turned into like a parrot and stood on one of your guys' shoulders or something. But we'll just do this the hard way.
That's fine. I can
Hey.
mage hand that zipper open. It's fine.
But you can see, we're coming along, we've got no weapons, I've just got something to drink and money. Is that good enough for you?
That works for me. As I said, you're being cooperative, and he's very handsome.
Alright, take us to the boss. I want this written off.
All right. You had led pretty much onto like a little boat that they would get onto, and the Minotaurs would each take some oars in each hand and row it with like shockingly powerful force until you're brought to the residential area. And this is almost a slummy residential area. And what Porter said about it was true. Almost the moment you turn in, the canals get narrower, the walls get higher, there's clotheslines between the buildings. There's piles of trash kind of poking up through the water. And not far behind, Porter, Samuel, Gunhild, and Hunhow would tail. Until you get to what looks like a convoy behind a houseboat. The rowboat would go past a series of kobolds that each are on tiny individual, what look like kind of water bikes. And you would be pulled onto a small kobold-sized houseboat armed with what looks like auto crossbows. And as you get there, you would see a older, fat kobold with a long beard, a monocle, just kind of sitting on a deck chair on the front of the boat. And he'd go, "Ah, I see. You're here with my money. You're not who I expected."
Well, we made the mistake of buying him out before we realized how much money he owed.
That's the problem with goblin contracts. When you sell a goblin, when a goblin tells another goblin, "I'll give you everything," they tend not to think twice. I mean, I'm sure we're being a little liberal with our interpretation, but it's trying times. I need my money.
No, I understand. You're obviously very concerned. I mean, the security's impressive.
Absolutely.
I mean,
This-
we're new to town, so you'll have to excuse us. We weren't aware that, everything was so crazy around here. But it seems like you're prepared for a big fight. Seems excessive. Is someone giving you trouble?
Oh, this cash is going to finance my return to prominence.
Makes sense. I mean, if you're really trying to take control, you got to have the liquidity, right?
Absolutely. Let's see the goods. Show me the juice.
Well, now, before I get it, you have to understand, it's dangerous to move around with that much gold out in public, so we had to conceal it.
That's absolutely understandable. This is a rough town and a rougher part of a rough part of town.
Yeah, we're really pretty good at the smuggling stuff. A lot of background experience. Here, let me show you. Mokesh reaches into the bag and pulls out an instant cake and tosses it to him.
Whoa, what the fuck is this?
It's your money.
It's my money.
Yeah, we've just compressed it.
Compressed.
Doesn't hold as much weight, easier to transport, doesn't scare the guards. All you gotta do, add water. What do you think Gilly was working on when he couldn't sell his parts? Guy was actually kind of genius.
He was working on fucking instant cakes. I know this. And he tosses it. He tosses it over the side, and it just, the moment it hits the water, just bursts into a layer cake and starts floating down the river. Of course, I was keeping an eye on him. Do you think I'm an idiot?
Mokesh looks over to Ferris. Little.
Well,
I mean, you brought us to you.
Somewhere in the background you hear, "I told you should have stayed out of the negotiations."
Mokesh literally opens the bag and dumps all the instant cake around the boat.
Squeak. Squeak, squeak.
and then Chinchilla
Creating
falls out.
instant ground.
Yeah, squeaks. It's right. Sorry.
Well, you don't need to worry about the go code.
One chinchilla.
Yeah, no, the
part of the
instant cake almost immediately starts gumming up. And Wingspring just kind of looks at you and points, and all the crossbow turrets turn inward and aim at Ferris and Malkesh.
If we survive this, we're gonna have a chat.
Malkesh smiles, and he kind of reaches down into a little pocket and just drops some bone dust on the deck. It could be worse, Ferris. We've been in worse jams. Also, you know exactly why I'm doing this. Just buying time.
All right. And we will resolve this next week on Voices in the Wilderness.
It's getting good.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get through a combat in a reasonable amount of 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Melkesh just starts charging the Kamehameha.
No, he just casts Pocket Rocket and kills everybody again.
Yeah.
Nah,
He starts
Heart
gathering
Strike-
power for the next episode. It just rises exponentially.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for
Good
tuning in.
night.